I do not trust leaders who do not trust people or cats. Friends, I can rise to anger in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I want to join the voices that are loud and shrill and calling out leaders in that anger. Immediately, I want to do that. And it's not that I can't, it's just that I don't want to be angry all the time. And I believe there's only one thing that's more powerful than the anger. The one thing more powerful than the anger is love. It just is. And yes, anger can alert us to what's going on. It can tell us, pay attention, get fired up. You got to do something. How are you going to do it? What are you going to do? Some of the questions that I hope to answer this morning a little bit. But anger can never, ever be the destination. That's where those folks are trying to take us. We can't go there. I believe love is in each one of us. And I believe that cruelty and anger, some of these horrific things, all of these horrific things, work to separate us from that. Look, at the moment, ugly forces have made an assault on love. That's what this is. Think about it. It's an assault on love. Call it whatever you want. But that's really what's at its core. And if you think that's an exaggeration, okay, when was the last time you heard any member of Congress or this administration, last time, talk about loving one another? The vast silence of unspoken love is about power. Because to speak of love in practical terms is to yield your power to love. They're not going to do it. Those silent voices in Congress are not going to do it. I often wonder, what do they tell their kids, their friends, their family, their loved ones, their pastors, their rabbis, their imams? What do they tell them? I don't know. And I wonder, where does this come from? Where does this anger as an embrace of how to behave and act and legislate and govern, where does it come from? And I think it comes from unresolved grief, frankly. I think one of the things is this unresolved grief we have in so many ways that we've never addressed, that turns into grievances because it hurts so much, makes us more angry, and then it sets us up to be divisive towards one another and to be in contest and opposition just to protect this feeling of trying to stop the anger in us by being angry at others. It doesn't make sense, and yet we don't heal very well, do we? Listen, our grief and our anger, if we give into it, is a balm for all of those who are trying to promote this because it moves them forward. So we can't do that. We just can't move in that direction. And as powerful as the weaponization of this anger, this cruelty may seem, it is not invincible. So what do we do? As a chaplain, as a pastor, as just someone trying to be helpful to others, it's one thing to talk about all of this, but what are some of the things we can do or are doing? So first, here's what I'd like to suggest. Over the next several days, just take a few minutes each day, end of the day, beginning of the day, maybe more than once. Make a list of everything that you're doing, the work that you are doing that provides for your family, the care that you are offering to others, the things you do that you never tell anybody you're doing that are kind. Make the list and look at it. That is not powerlessness. That's engaging. We're not powerless. Second, remember that we do not carry this work alone. We just don't. The way things are presented and over we watch them on TV or read them or whatever, makes us feel like we are singularly responsible for changing it all. We're not. The response has always been about communal response, about community, about coming together. Third, continue to support organizations that you've supported in the past. Not all of us can go out and march and be places and travel to we just can't. Those things you're doing every day to take care of your family and loved ones, we just can't get up and run out the door and stand on a corner. That's not possible for all of us. So support the organizations that are living up to your values. I want to tell you, I ran a national organization. I did the fundraising for it. It was within the church that I'm a part of, that I'm ordained within. And when we were out there trying to make the church more welcoming, more inclusive, more supportive of people who are queer, and all people, when somebody sent a check and they made it possible for us to continue our work, I gave thanks. I can't tell you how grateful I was to everyone who believed in the cause, believed in me, agreed with what we were doing, had a couple extra bucks to send in. So please don't diminish your donations, your support of the organizations that you find to be important to you. It really is. I can't tell you, every dollar. Another way, what else we can do? Show up. If you can get to a rally, go to a rally. If you can do a protest, do a protest. If you can sign cards and send out letters and whatever you want to do, faxes and things with others, do it. Just be safe. Don't do it alone. Another thing, curate the headlines, curate the news, curate the TV. Watch what you need to watch. Don't watch the same thing over and over and over when it becomes news about news about news about news. Don't read the same article more than once about a topic or different articles about the same topic. Pay attention to the time that we spend in the news, bringing this stuff inside of us, because it is all meant to capture us. And the ones that are producing a lot of the news out there that's being covered just want us to be angry. So angry we lose the sense of who we are and our power, which is to respond not with anger, but with something greater. And the last thing on this list, breathe. Just breathe. Meditate for a few minutes a day, any way you like. I just sometimes sit and look out the window. Other times, I write a lot. I do write. Journaling really helps me. I pet the cat. Whatever it is, take a few minutes to breathe, to be present, to calm your spirit. There's so many different ways of doing that. Look on the line. Start out with a breathing exercise. And if you can, even do it with others if you're involved in different activities. And if you pray, even if you don't pray, please pray. Lift up from inside of you that which is connected to something greater than yourself, that which inspires the actions we take in ways I don't understand. I just know it's true. You know, when people say, your prayers and well wishes are not enough, whoa, listen to that. Those prayers, those thoughts, they inspire something. They connect to something greater and they guide us in the actions we need to take. That's probably why they're telling us, don't pray. You don't need to pray. What is this prayer nonsense? Because it's just another way of tamping us down. Okay, so those are some things we can do, and maybe there'll be more we'll come up with. You'll think of them, you'll share them. Send me a note if you have any ideas of what you do, and let's share them. So now we've got some things to put our daily day in perspective and to think about some things we can do. The focus next is on the midterms. In fact, the focus has to be on both, what we're doing today and on those midterms. And so I'm going to do a lot of things. I'm not even sure what they are yet, but one of them is I am going to laugh. I'm going to laugh, I hope, but I'm also going to ask every single candidate, do you love people? I want to hear whether candidates will publicly acknowledge that they love people. I want to hear that they are committed to our values and to healing and to ending this cruelty, not because it's a good policy, but because there's something inside of them that's greater than anger, and they are willing to embrace that as a member of the representative body that we elect. I want to know that. And the answer to that question, the answer to that one simple question, do you love people? No, don't. Don't start telling me this group and that group. No, I'm not into. Do you love people? Inside of you, when you talk to your kids and your friends, do you tell them, listen, we have to love one another? Or do you tell them we have to beat the crap out of each other? Which do you say? If you think the latter is the way we get to loving people, man, I'd really like you to say that in public, and then, I'll look elsewhere for someone to call to represent me. I think it's really important. And that's going to decide my vote. So it's sort of three things. Ask the question, do you love people? Listen for the answer, and then make your choice. And support your candidate. And support others candidates who answer that question correctly, as far as you're concerned. And support them in all the ways you can. Thanks for listening. And I'll close where I began. I just don't trust leaders who don't love people. They should be doing something else, far away from serving the public good. Ray Bagnolo, thanks for joining me this morning. You're beautiful, and I love you.